he's not laying a good brood pattern, what we call a spotty pattern. And a brood pattern, here's a foundation right here. Okay? This here in a rainbow shape, this is all brood in here. And then you come up here and you got another, like a rainbow. This is all pollen stuff in here. And all this up in here is honey. So they feed from that frame down. So you can kind of take a look at that. This is all new stuff, except for the frame you can use before. But this is plastic. Okay? And if you want bees to work on it quickly, you take melt beeswax, take a paintbrush, and paint this. You don't have to put it on heavily, just enough to cover all them little cells in there. Okay, on both sides. With beeswax. And then they start growing on that. Oh, you can get it from Hobby Lobby, beekeepers.
Like when we harvest the honey, there's a lot of wax that we separate out, and so then you can keep that to melt and
we save all
use
the
it.
cappings, we freeze it, and then when we need it, we melt it down. So, in order to cover one of these frames on both sides, it takes 10 pounds of sugar or 10 pounds of honey to make 1 pound of beeswax. And all this sits in there like this, all your cells point down. So in other words, out here, there'd be like this here.
Little slide
So
angle.
as they fill that with honey, and it comes up in there, because they don't carry that, each bee doesn't carry that much honey. They carry quite a bit. So they keep putting it in a cell until they get it full. And as they fill it, they build beeswax up on it like a little dam, so it doesn't run over. Okay? Then they leave the top part open, and that's evaporation. They evaporate all the water out of it. That's what they call viscosity. It makes your honey thick and everything. And once they get to the viscosity that they want, then they cap it over completely. Because if they don't, it'll ferment and start bubbling, and then you got a mess in your hive. So, so there's a lot of things, and you kids will not retain all this. It takes years and years and years of working with bees to try to figure them out. And they're just like children. Once you get them figured out, they'll throw you a curveball. You'll learn something else.
How long have you worked with bees?
So basically, a bee colony is a colony. It's like people. You have little towns, colonies of people. They have their own governing body. They have their own way of communicating. They clean. They clean the whole inside of the hive. They make propolis, which is a glue. They go around, if there's any little hole or anything that lets air through, it'll seal it off. Because they want to maintain the inside temperature so these larvae will hatch.
How many years have you been beekeeping?
About 6 to 7 years.
It's a pretty good start.
How did you get started?
My grandfather, he's a Dutchman, kind of hard-headed, but if his grandkids showed interest in something, he'd bend over backwards to teach them. But if they're not interested, I mean, he loved you, and he'd do things for you, but he's not going to go out of his road to try to teach you something you don't want to learn. So, but I'll teach anybody anything they want to try to learn. Why not? So anyway, another thing too, if you're going to get into beekeeping, doing not buy used equipment. It's woodware. You get equipment. Say you buy a nuke of bees, which is honey, pollen, bees, queen, from somebody. I'm just going to use Florida for example because they got a lot of them down there. And you get it, and they all look pretty good, but you may have American foul brood in it. And American foul brood is something you don't want to get started because it'll kill your whole hive. It can be transmitted to your other hives. You will wind up losing your whole bee yard of American foul brood. And what it does, it's a spore that gets in and kills the larva, and it is kind of like jelly and stuff. And the inside of your hive just stinks to high heaven. And it's hard to get rid of because foul brood spore will live 40 years. If you have this box set for 35 years on the shelf, and some old gentleman says, I would make sure I clean them thoroughly. Everything that you can think of clean. Because there may be spores from foul brood in them.
So like it's a fungus?
Yeah, it's a fungus type thing. And also they got what they call European foul brood. And what it does is it gets into the larva, and it uses the larva for food. And they get hard, just like a rock, only they're white. And if you start seeing little pellets about that big, about as big around as that, well, they look a lot like these eraser. It's a dead bee, and they take them out and throw them outside. So that's European foul brood. So you got a jelly type, you got one that turns hard. And this year, as of January 1st, you have to get a hold of the veterinary that takes care of bees in the state that you live in order to get medication for the foul brood.
Is that the queen bee?
Huh?
Is that the Arizona queen bee, or is that somebody, that lady, or is it somebody else?
You can get a hold of the Arizona, that's a extension of university. They're in Tucson. It's Bee Lab. You can find them on the website, or call me and I'll get the number. I've got it at home. But anyway, they'll come out and examine the hive and tell you what medication you need to do. Because this is all a food product that you're trying to do. So you're making food, which is the honey, pollinating crops, and everything. So it's pretty well governed by the government.
So what kind of bees do you have? We've been learning about like the Africanized bees and stuff like that. So we're trying to.
Yeah, Africanized bees. I hate to say, I know a gentleman got the Louisiana bees started down there Africanized. And he worked for the University of Louisiana. And somebody left the door open, and they got out. But they're very, very high honey producing bees. But they can be flying by, and you can be going this way. They'll decide they want to sting you. They decide they want to sting you.
Will they back to sting you?
Probably, but you're not going to be too good either. And if there's like a swarm, and you got that a lot down here, and you get Africanized swarm, they look just like regular honeybees, and they will attack you. I mean, hundreds of them.
Yeah.
How do you keep the Africanized bees from overtaking your hive?
Hive entrance. What's inside? But anyway, they got an entrance board, and it's got different openings on it. Okay, you set this down, and this is bee space for two bees.
Turn the base. Yeah, turn the base.
Okay, each hive has what they call guard bees. That's part of their job is before they come honey gatherers. So they'll sit maybe on the outside, maybe on the inside, you don't know. But if that bee comes in here, this doesn't belong into this hive. colony gets stronger and stronger, then you can turn it over and use a bigger one. Okay? So basically what you would do, you'd have it sit in front of your hives. So you can get several of them through here at a time. Okay? Your hive gets stronger, it gets filled up. You got 50,000 bees in there. That's average per colony. Okay, you can take this clear out. Then you have this whole thing open, and hundreds of bees can get in and out and in and out. But you got more guard bees and everything to take care of that. So not only are they guard bees, you'll see bees on the outside, maybe 4 or 5 on the outside. And if you pay attention, they're little behinds. Some of them are pointed away from the hive here, and some of them are pointed into the hive. Okay, so it depends on which way they're facing. The wind always goes behind them. It's just like a prop on an airplane. So they're pushing wind behind them. Okay, what they're doing is cooling their hive down and ventilating their hive. So if they're sitting here and their behinds are sticking out here and their heads are inside and they're flapping their wings, they're bringing air out. And over on this side, they probably the other way around. Their heads are out and they're blowing air in. So what they're doing is circulating the air in there. Okay? Well, not only are they air conditioners, they're also the guard bees in there. So that's how that works. You start off small and get big.
Can you block off the hive so you don't have bees coming in and out? If you're gonna like move them or something?
Well, you screen this off, and if you're going to move your hive, and you can move it, and that gives them the air and stuff in there. You don't want to ever try to block it off for too long. 24 hours is about it, if you're just going to block it. Because they will overheat in there, and they'll die. You don't want to overheat the queen, you don't want to get her too cold. Same way with the brood. You want to keep them about 84 degrees. And this here, kind of show you how it works. It's got holes in the bottom of it. I make a lot of my own equipment, so it's a lot cheaper than buying. So you put 1-to-1 sugar syrup in that, or if you're going to feed through this winter, and your winters don't get that cold here, you go to 2-to-1, 2 parts sugar to 1 part water, and that gives them the energy and stuff to create the heat, body heat. And so you can slip that in there like that, and they can come through that, as you can see, there's a little entrance, and feed off the bottom of that, which got a little bitty hole. You just stick your tongues up in there, suck the syrup out just like you would a flower. And that goes on like that. Well, it won't run out because it needs air to get in to push the syrup out. But if they drink it, bubbles will go in there and keep equalize pressure up here as they drink it. You ever try to drink a bottle of pop and suck on it? Can't get nothing out of it? Yeah, this works about the same way. Okay, so then this is a new colony, and I'm gonna say you got about 30,000 bees in it. And oops, that'll fit back in there. Like that. So they're coming out on this side of the hive. It's far enough away that robber bees can't get in and steal this door of honey. And then, like I say, when you get enough there, and your hive's a little stronger, you need more bees going in and out to get pollen and stuff, you can put that in there. Now these little things here are what women use to clean makeup and stuff off their face. But they make real good oil pads. And I put oil on it, like vegetable oil, canola oil. I don't drench them, I just put enough on there it covers them. And I put them on top of the centerboard here, and the bees will walk through that, and they get oil on their feet, and they're always cleaning each other and everything, so they'll be over top and underneath and all around the other bees. Well, they're transferring that oil to them. Well, the varroa mites don't like oil, so this kind of helps take care of the mite problem.
We were just talking about that the other day about like what is something that could fight the viral, I'm not thinking of that mite, varroa mite.
Yeah, I know what you're
Like
talking
a
about.
natural, like instead of like you still do antibiotics.
Well, see, they have a gas, acid, that you evaporate with electric. And they got little machines you can put out there, put a couple drops in there, and it makes a vapor. And this will kill the mites and everything. But also, you can kill your bees that way. Arizona, it's against the law to have it in Arizona. They won't ship the acid to Arizona. So, you don't really have to worry about that. You just have to worry about getting rid of the mites. And if you want to get deeper into mites and stuff, there's test kits that you can buy and books you can buy that explain everything, how you can run tests using powdered sugar, water, and everything.
Oh, what did we hear about the powdered sugar?
Testing to see if they had mites by putting in powdered sugar and then shaking it out and it would see if mites
Yeah,
come
you
off
take
it.
the water after you get the mites out, spray them, and it washes the sugar off, and you can count your mites. So when you do that, then you divide by 3, and that's how many mites per bee you got in your hive.
Wow. The other day, I think Aaron said you had to cut out some parts of the hive. Were there mites in there or parasites?
Oh, no, I had waxworm.
Oh, waxworm.
Jonathan and I cut a tree down